Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lost Artistry Lash channel. My name is Anna and today I'm going to be doing a full set of classic lashes on my client Tiff. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I like to apply classic lashes, all my tips and tricks, and my full application from start to finish. Tiff actually has a little bit of a lash lift today, so I'm going to be troubleshooting through how I like to deal with that and what curls that I'm going to choose to work around that to make sure that the set comes out nice and consistent. So let's take a look at Tiff's lashes from the side. She got a lash lift done about a couple months ago and some of her lashes have grown out and naturally shed, but some of them are still hanging on and they're just a little bit lifted, as you can see. So to work through that, because her lashes are a little bit lifted, I'm going to be working with a C curl, and on more of her downturned lashes, I'm going to be working with a CC curl just to kind of balance out the set. Tiff has a beautiful eye shape, and to complement that, I want to work with a doll eye mapping, and we're going to be working with 0.15 and 0.18 classics. So Tiff has naturally very long lashes and they're very thick in diameter, so she can actually handle a lot of weight, but we are going for more of a natural look today, so that's why I'm choosing to work with mostly 0.15, and on her very strong lashes, I'll be working with 0.18. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply my pads. I'm using Lost Artistry Lash eye pads today, and what I like to do is get my client to look up. So just look up for me, Tiff. I'm making sure that the outer corners are down just by pulling down her lid a little bit, and close. And I just like to make sure that the pads feel comfortable for my client. So how does this side feel?
Feels good.
Good. So as I said earlier, Tiff has a little bit of a lash lift that's currently growing out. So because her lashes are swaying in different directions, it's really important that we focus on our direction with our classic set today. So today I'm working with our Sunset Isolation Tweezers. This really helps because it has a fine tip, so it's really easy to maneuver through all of those lashes. And I'm working with our Gripopotamus Crane Tweezer today. It's totally a preference thing for which kind of tweezers you like to use. I prefer working with a crane tweezer when doing classic sets. I just find that I'm very used to the curvature of it. So I'm just sifting through her lashes, and I'll just find a lash that's swaying to one side to show you an example. So here's a lash that is swaying a little bit over to the right, and the goal here is to make the extension appear that it is growing straight out of the lash line. So to direct that lash, I'm just going to take my extension and I'm going to place it on the opposite side. So it's swaying more over to the right, so I'm going to apply it to the left side. And I'm focusing on attaching it to the base, not the entire natural lash, just like that. So you can see that the natural lash is still swaying over to the right, but the extension is straight. So this will give the appearance that our lash set is very clean and uniform. So here's a very short natural lash, and you can see that it is swaying over to the left. So because this lash is so short and fine, I'm going to be working with 0.12. It's very helpful to have extra diameters on hand because we want to make sure that our lashes are staying nice and healthy. So if I put a 0.15 or a 0.18 on this one, it might be a little bit too heavy and weigh down the lash. So I'm going to take my 0.12 extension, and again, we're going to focus very close on that base and apply it to the opposite side. So applying on the right. I'm going to hold that lash in place and release after a couple seconds And you can see that our extension is facing straight out from the lash line. So I've already gone through and I've done about half of my lash set already, and I'm just kind of troubleshooting through Tiff's lashes. So as I mentioned before, she already does have a little bit of a lash lift and it's still growing out in some areas of her eye. I like to focus a little bit more on my curls and my direction. For example, on her bottom layer, I noticed that some of her lashes point down, and that's because those lashes have already grown out from the lash lift. So I'm working with more of a CC curl on those lashes just to bring them up, and then a C curl on her lashes that are already lifted. So today I'm working with my Invisibond glue. That's because I need the extra time to redirect my lashes. It's really important when working with classics that our direction is on point. So I prefer to work with a slower cure time glue. I'm also working with a glue ring because I find that it's best for easy access. And when I apply my extension, I like to apply 1 millimeter away from the eye. So I just like to hover my extension, making sure my angle is good, and place. I like to hold for a couple seconds so that the glue can cure, and then I release. Slow movements are key when working with direction. So now that I've placed my extension over on this area of the eye, I'm going to move over to the inner corner now so I can let the glue cure. I don't like to place extensions next to one another because I want to avoid getting stickies. And if I move to another part of the eye, it'll give the glue time to cure. So now that I've done one on the outer corner and one on the inner corner, I would then switch eyes. So the rule of thumb when working with classics is to not go a third longer or thicker than the natural lash. Now this rule can be broken if the client had very long and thick natural lashes, depending on their natural lash health. But if you wanted to play it safe, this is a good rule to follow, especially when you're lashing a client for the first time and you don't know how well their lashes can hold certain weights and lengths. Then again, this is a good rule to follow.